I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina, and that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Oh, much deserved on his part, I have heard, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none by that name, lady.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedick of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, cuz, you tax Signor Benedick too much. He'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good work, lady, in these wars.
He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier, too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man, but for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
This merry war betwixt Signor Benedick and her, they never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So that if he have wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for difference between himself and his horse, for it is all the wealth he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother. He wears his faith but in the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentlemen were not in your book.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young brawler now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He's in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio if he hath caught the Benedick. It'll cost him £1,000 ere it be cured.
You will never run mad, cousin.
No, not till a hot January.
Oh, Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signora Leonata, are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her father hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedick, no, for then you were a child.
You have it full, Benedick. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be thankful, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonata be her mother, she would not have her head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like her as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedick. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedick? Well, courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only yourself excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women! They would also have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Oh, may God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse than 'twere such a face as yours were.
You are a rare parrot teacher.
Bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer, but keep your way, a God's name, I have done.
You always end with the jade trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonata. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedick, my good friend Leonata hath invited you all. I tell her we shall stay here at the least a month. She heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear she is no hypocrite, but prays from the heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please let your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonata. We will go together.
Benedick, didst thou note the daughter of Signora Leonata?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you ask me as an honest man should do? From my simple, true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee. Speak in sober judgment.
Why, i' faith, methinks she's too low for high praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this combination I can afford her. That were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other, but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest Simon sport? I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Oh, can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow.
In mine eye, she's the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she, not possessed with the fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself. Though, I had sworn the contrary if Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this?
Ugh.
In faith, hath the world not one man but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, if faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro's returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you follow not to Leonata's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? Oh, I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonata's short daughter.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I spoke my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is for the which I may go the finer. I will live a bachelor.
I will see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that I ever lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking, and pick out mine eyes with ballad maker's pen, and hang me at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou should fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle, like a cat, and shoot at me. And he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Robin.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedick bears it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead. Let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here is a good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedick, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if ever thou should fall from this faith, thou wilt quake for it shortly.
I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, thou wilt temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedick, repair thee to Leonata's. Commend me to her, and tell her I will not fail her at supper, for intent she hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter in me for such an episode, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God, for my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend Benedick.
Nay, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards of it slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. So I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that do thee good.
Hath Leonata any son, my lord?
No child but hero. She's her only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord. When you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms, thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love, fair hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her mother, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no loves grief by its complexion. But, lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with a remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero that I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then, after, to her mother will I break, and in conclusion, you shall have her. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, Antonia?
Oh, I can tell you strange news that you dreamt not of.
Word good.
As the event stamps them, but they show well outward they have good cover. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick-pleached alley in the orchard, were thus much overheard by a maid of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loves your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found you accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top of it, and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the maid any wit told you this?
A good sharp lass, I'll send for her and question her yourself.
No, no. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself, but I will acquaint my daughter with all that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it.
Dear my lord, why are you thus out of measure sad?
There's no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear the reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and laugh at no man's jests. Eat when I have stomach, and wait on no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor. I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better suits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love of any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied that I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only.
There may still be a use. Your brother, the prince, is royally entertained by Leonata, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve as any model to build mischief on? What's he for a fool that betroughs himself to unquietness?
Oh, Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who, the most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
And who? Which way looks he?
Ooh, Mary, one hero, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
A very forward march chick. How came you by this?
Out of being entertained for a perfumer as I was smoking a musty room, comes me, the prince, and Claudio, hand in hand, in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us this may prove food to my displeasure. This young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him in any way, I bless myself in every way. You are certain and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheers, the greater that I am overthrown. Oh, where the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
Oh, wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I'm heartburned for an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing. The other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half of Senior Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half of Count John's melancholy in Senior Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot on't, and money enough in his purse, any man could win any woman in the world if it could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou shalt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Oh Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I would rather lie in the woolen.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust? No, aunt, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. For hear me, hero, wooing, wedding, and repenting are as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a syncopate. The first suit is hot and hasty, and full as fantastical as a Scotch jig. The wedding, mannerly modest, a measure full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance, and with his bad legs falls into a syncopate faster and faster till he sink into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, aunt. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are here.
lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing? I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you say so?
When I like your favor. For God defend, the lute should be like the case.
My visor is Philemon's roof, within the house is Jove.
Why then, your visor should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak low.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one.
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
Shh, no more words. The clerk has answered.
I know you well enough. You are Borachio.
Word I am not.
I know you by the waggle of your head.
Oh, to tell you true, I but counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill will, unless you were the very man. Oh, here's his dry hands up and down. You are
At a word I am not.
Oh, come. Oh, do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? How can virtue hide itself? Go to, mum, you are he. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
Nor will you tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of 100 merry tales. Well, this is Signor Benedick that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. And only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. You must join the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero and has withdrawn with her mother to break with her about it. The ladies follow with but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedick?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You could do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
Oh, so did I too, and swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, Mr. Benedick.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedick, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. Oh, 'tis certain so the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, let all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch against whose charms fate melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next Willow County, about your own business. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck, like an usurer's chain, or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf. You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
If it will not be, leave me be.
Ho! Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy who stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl, now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me, the prince's fool. Ha! And maybe I go under that title because I am married. Yea, but so I'm apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world in her person and so gives me out. Will all be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
The lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking I bet myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance that I stood like a man at a mark with whole armies shooting at me. She speaks ponders, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect with a North Star. Come, talk not of her. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for indeed while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. People sin upon purpose because they would go thither, so indeed all disquiet, horror and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go now on the slightest errand to the antipodes that you could devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpick from the furthest inch of Asia, fetch you a hair of the great Sham's beard. Have you any embassage to pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy? You have no employment for me.
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry once before, he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would he should not do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
What? How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as a lime, and something of that jealous complexion.
Faith, lady, I think you're blazoned to be true. Though all be sworn, if it be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her mother, and her goodwill obtained. Name the date of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count. It is your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. My lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin. Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
Faith, lady, you have a merry tongue.
Yea, my lord. I thank it, poor fool, that keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Oh, good lord for alliance. and thus goes everyone into the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. And to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
Oh, no, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then there was a star dance, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, aunt, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
Oh, there's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord, for she is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I've heard my daughter say she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
And she cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord, my Lord. If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Oh, tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches to love of all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just seven-night, and a time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing. But I'll warrant you, Claudio, the time will not go dully by us. We will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection the one with other. I would fain have it to match, and I doubt not but to fashion it if you three will administer such assistance.
My lord, I'm for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours. We are the only love gods. Go in with me, and I will tell you my dream.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonata.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment shall prove medicinable to me. I am sick with displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges equally with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear to me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Lady Hero.
I remember.
And I can, at any unseasonable hour of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be deaf to his marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily uphold, to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonata. Look you for any other issue.
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go! You find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. To tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal, both to the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor who hath made the match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cousined with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarce believe it without trial. Offer them instances, which shall appear no less likely than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero! Hear Margaret turn me lovingly, and bring them both to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all preparation overthrown.
Gross! To what adverse issue it can, I shall put it in practice. Be cunning in this, in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn the day of his marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I've known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. And now you rather hear the tabor and the pipe. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. Until he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another's virtuous, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be what color it please God.
Come, let us to the garden.
Ha! The prince and monsieur love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come hither, Leonata. What was it you told me today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedick?
Oh! Stock on, foul sins. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How, I pray you? You amaze me! I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this a gull, but that the woman speaks it knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
He obtained the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
It's true indeed. So your daughter says, shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
Oh, this says she now when she is beginning to write to him. For she'll be 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock till she hath rid a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper, I remember a pretty gesture daughter told us of.
Oh? Oh. When she hath read it and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheet. That. Oh. She tore that letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he write to me, yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, stop, beat
doth indeed. My daughter says so in the ecstasy it so much overborne her that she is sometime afeared she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
'Twere good that Benedick knew of it by some other if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
She's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous,
And she is exceeding wise.
in everything but in loving Benedick.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. I am sorry for her as I've just cause, being her aunt and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half my heart. I pray you, tell Benedick of it and hear what he will say.
Word good.
Hero says surely she will die. For she says she will die. He loves her not. And she will die if we lose her. Rather than she will beat one more breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis quite possible he'll scorn her, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go and seek Benedick and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, Lord. Let her wear it out. With good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready. If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport will be when they hold one in opinion of the other's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference is sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. Oh, it seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis true. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me by my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? Shall quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice. Oh, I thank you for your pains.
I take no more thanks for those pains than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message.
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a dog withal. You have no stomach, signor? Fare you well.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I take no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. That's as much to say any pains I take for you is as easy as thanks. Oh, if I do not pity her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Now, Margaret, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs, close by the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we to Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Margaret, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
Oh, but are you so sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they beg you to tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Oh, why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on. And her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she'll make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward, I do say, so turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Oh, yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No. Rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion. Truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One does not know how much an ill word may poison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy, always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His Excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show you some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
Oh, she is lived, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kill with arrows, some with
Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness will incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a gloss, or stain in the new gloss of your marriage, as to show a child his new coat, and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have a toothache.
Oh, draw it.
Hang it!
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
Well, everyone cannot master a grief but he that has it.
Oh.
If he be not in love with some woman, there's no believing old signs. A brush is his hat o' mornings, what should that bode? The sweet youth's in love!
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yet, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string, and now governed by stops. Oh,
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Oh, yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet, is this no charm for the toothache? Oh, Signora, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear. Hobby horses!
For my life to break with her about Beatrice.
Oh, 'tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet again.
My lord and brother, God save you.
G'dan.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you,
In private?
if it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
Why, what's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediments, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not, that appear hereafter and aim better at me by that which I will now manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well and in dearness of heart, hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she hath been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonata's hero. Your hero. Every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, but until further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her still, tomorrow wed her. But it would better suit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
You dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more, and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I should see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow. In the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witness. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, damn towardly turned!
Oh, mischief strangely thwarted!
Oh, plague right well prevented. So will you say when you have seen the sequel.
Nay, that were punishment too good for you if you should have any allegiance in you being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give us our charge, neighbor Dogberry!
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Oh, me, sir, for I can write and read!
Come hither, neighbor Burgess. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is a gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both of which, Master Constable?
He has. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, I give God thanks and make no boast of it. As for your writing and reading, well, let that appear when there is no need for such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lanthorn. This is to be your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrant men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
Oh. How if we will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, and let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You are also to make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable, and not to be endured.
We would rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. I only have a care that your bills be not stolen. You are also to call at all the alehouses, and with those that are drunk, get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then, let them alone till they are sober. If they make you not the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Sir!
If you meet a thief, you may, by virtue of your office, suspect him to be no true man, and for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think there the touch pitch will be defiled. Truly, the most peaceable way, if you do catch a thief, is to let him show himself what he is, and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her to still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, depart in peace and let the child wake with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it obeys will never answer a calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night.
Well, we hear our charge. Let us go, sit upon the church bench till 2, and then all to bed.
One neighbors! I pray you keep a close eye on Signora Leonata's door, for the wedding being there tomorrow, there be a great coil tonight. Adieu, be vigilant, I beseech you.
So, yeah, Leonata's house. Do you maybe know where? Yeah, Leonata's house is this way. Let's go right now. Excuse me.
Make way!
Excuse us.
Make way!
Actually, might be this
That
way.
way! Oh! Hi!
The jolly good child, the haze, the jolly good child. Which nobody.
And now forward with my tale. I have received of Don John 1,000 ducats. Is it possible any villainy should be so dear? Some treason, master! Yet stand close! No. I should rather ask if it were possible any villainy could be so rich, for when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I know this man. He has been a vile thief this 7 years. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I know his name.
Does I not hear somebody? Yes. You know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her mistress's window and bids me 1,000 times good night. No, shh. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the Prince, Claudio, and Don John be planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter. And they thought Margaret was Hero. Or two of them did. The Prince and Don John. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret. And partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made, away with Claudio, enraged, and swore he would meet her as he was appointed at the temple next morning, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw or night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name. Stand.
Call of the right, Master Constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that ever was known in the Commonwealth. Stand up. Come now. I'll obey you. Okay.
By my troth, I think your other rubato were better.
No! Pray thee, Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth's not so good. And I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
By my troths, but a nightgown in respect to yours. But for fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on't.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
But 'twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. And but think ye do not rest true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think. And it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz. Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks.
Claps into light of love. That goes without a burden. Do you sing it? And I'll dance it.
What means the full trow?
Oh, nothing, God send everyone their heart's desire. These gloves the Count sent, they are an excellent perfume.
I'm stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid! And stuffed. There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Well, ever since you left it. Oh, doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I'm sick.
Oh, get you some of this distilled Cardius Benedictus, and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why, Benedictus, you have some moral in this, Benedictus.
Moral? No, by my troth. I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think, perchance, that I think you are in love. Nay, my lady, I am no such fool as to think what I list. Nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think, if I would think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedick was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. Oh, and how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop. Come, hero, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedick, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Come, cuz, help me to dress. Good cuz, good Meg.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Mary, this is it, madam.
Yes, in truth, it is, madam.
What is it, my good friends?
The good man Burgess, madam, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, madam, and his wits are not so blunt as God help I would desire they were. But in faith, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is also an old man, and no honester than I.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I would find it in my heart to bestow it all on your worship.
All thy tediousness on me?
Yea, and 1,000 pounds more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your name as any man in the city. And though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Mary, madam, our watch tonight, accepting your
this morning to be examined before your worship.
Take his examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in a great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffragans.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
Go, good neighbor, go get you the witness. We are now to examination.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you, for that shall drive some to a non-come. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail. The jail.
Oh.
Particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why the two of you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now? Interjections. Why then some be of laughing, as
Friar, stand thee by. Mother, by your leave, would you with a free and unconstrained soul give me this maid your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonata, take her back! Give not this rotten orange to your friend, she's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not this blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were made by these exterior shows? But she is none. She's known the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married. Not in my soul to approve it wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof had vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virtue...
I know what you would say. If you have known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband and accentuate the forehand sin. No, Leonata. I never tempted her with words too large. But as a brother, to his sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise? Is my lord well that he doth speak so wise?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
Why should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my good friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Ma'am, they are spoken, and these things are true.
this looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God!
Leonata, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face? Heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me move but one question of your daughter. And by that motherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, how am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry that can, hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was he you talked with you yesterday? Out at your window betwixt 12 and 1. Now if you are made answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then are you no maiden? Leonata, I am sorry you must hear. Upon my honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed most like a liberal villain, confess the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoken of. Why, there is not chastity enough in language to without offence to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero. What a hero. It's not been in half. I know what graces have been placed about thy thoughts, and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well! Most foul, most fair, farewell! The pure and pious purity for thee, I'll lock up all gates of love, and on mine eyelid shall conjecture hang, discern all beauty in the thoughts of harm, and never shall more be graced.
Shall no man's dagger here appoint for me?
No, hero, wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things thus come to light to smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Death, I think, help someone! Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero, do not open thine eyes. For mine and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on. Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine, valuing of her. Why she is fallen into a pit of ink, which the wide sea after drops too few to wash her clean in, and salt too little which may season give to her foul tainted flesh.
Madam, be patient. For my part, I am attired in wonder. I know not what to say.
Oh, my soul, my cousin is blind.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Oh, that is stronger made which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie and Claudio lie, who loved her so that speaking of her foulness washed her with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me but a little. For I have only been silent this long and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face. 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes. Trust not my reading, nor my observations, with which experimental tenor zeal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekst thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
I know that to accuse me I know none. If I know more of any man than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my mother, prove you that any man with me conversed in hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor. If their wisdom be misled in it, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirit toils in frame of villains.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so eat at mine invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends. But they shall find a weight in such of kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability of means and choice of friends to quit me of them throughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the princes left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
She is dying, as it must be maintained upon the instant that she was accused. Shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whilst we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, why then we rack the value. Then we find whilst it was ours. So shall it fare with Claudio. When we shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination. And every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her, no, though he thought his accusation true. Oh, let this be so, and doubt not but success shall fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy.
Signor Leonata, let him advise you. And though you know my ignorance in love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may leave me.
'Tis well consented. Presently, away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Oh, come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Surely, I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. It's not that strange.
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. And yet, believe me not, although I lie not, I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make an edict that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest I love thee.
Why then God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
Well, you have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Ha. Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, good Beatrice.
I am gone though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith I will go.
We'll be friends first.
Is it not approved in the height of villain that have slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man. What? Bear her in hand until it is time to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace!
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wrong. She is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
That I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for mine. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die woman with grieving.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love, some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have thought her soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. So farewell.
Is our whole assembly
Which be the malefactor?
Marry that my and my partner.
Nay, that is certain, for we have the exhibition to examine.
But which is the offender to be examined? Let him come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary. Let him come before me. What is your name, Sirrah?
Borachio.
Pray write down Borachio. Do you serve God?
Yea, sure, I hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. And write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such a villain. Master, it is proved already that you are little better than a false knave, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. What say you for yourself?
Marry, sir, I say I am none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I warrant you. But I shall go about with him. Come you hither, Sirrah, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are a false knave.
I am none.
Well, stand aside, for God, he is in a tale. Have you writ down that he is none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that is the accuser.
Yea, Mary, that's the effest way. Let the watch come forth. Master, I charge you in the prince's name. Accuse this man!
This man, sir, said that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down, Prince John, a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
What say you else?
Marry, sir, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain. Thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
That is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John was this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let this man be bound and brought before Leonata. I will go before and show her his examination.
Come, let him be opinioned.
Let him be in the hands of the watch.
Hey, you are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he had been here to write me down an ass! But master, do not forget that I am an ass. Though it be not written down, forget not that I am an ass. Know thou, villain, thou art full of piety, as will be proved upon by thee, good witness. I'm a wise fellow. And which is more, an officer. And which is more, a householder. And which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina. And one that knows the law, go to. And a wise fellow enough, go to. And a man who hath lasses, and a man that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away! Oh, that I had been written down an ass!
Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, as thus for thus, and such a grief is such. No, 'tis all men's patience. to speak virtue to those that ring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue, nor sufficiency, to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement. My soul doth tell me hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know. So shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her. Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good day, good day.
Good day to you, madam.
We have some haste, Leonata.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well. Are you so hasty now?
Nay.
Well, all is one.
Do not quarrel with us, good madam.
If I could right myself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs you?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou! Tush, tush, man, never flee or jest at me. I speak not like a doter nor a fool, as under privileged age to brag what I've done being young, or what would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast so wronged mine innocent child in me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days do challenge thee to a trial of a man. I say thou hast gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in her tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers framed by thy villainy.
My villainy.
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, madam.
My lord, my lord.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so dash me? Thou hast killed my child! If thou killest me, thou shalt kill a mother. But that's no matter. Let him kill me now. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy, come follow me. And hero is dead, slandered to death by villains that dares well answer. A man indeed, as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milks,
Madam
Leonata! We will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof. I will not hear you.
No, I will be heard.
Come, here is the man we went to seek.
Now, signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, signor. You are almost come to part almost affray.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off by an old woman without teeth.
What thinkst thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for her.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, but we are high-proof melancholy and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though very many have been beside them. I will bid thee draw as we do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry? By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I will tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou had a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. Right, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Just, says she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, says she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, says she. For he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore on Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue, there's two tongues. Thus did she for an hour together transhape thy particular virtues. Yet, at last, she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily, and said she cares not.
Yea, that she did, and yet, but for all that, if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old woman's daughter told us all.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord lack wit there, he and I shall meet, till then peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In a most profound earnest, and I warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee?
Most sincerely.
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Ah! If justice, come you, sir! If justice cannot save you, she shall ne'er weigh your reasons in her balance. Nay, you be a person. You must be looked to!
How won? My brother's van bound?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers! What offense has this man done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things, and to conclude, they are a lying knave.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixth and lastly, why they are committed, and to conclude what you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned, and in his own division. And by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended, master, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light. Who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. Of my villainy they have upon record, which I would rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead on mine and my master's false accusations, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he's uttered it.
And my brother hath set thee on to this.
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiff. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonata of the matter. And master, do not forget when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Oh, here comes Master Signora Leonata!
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a slew of honorable men. Another is fled that had a hand in it. I thank thee, princess, for my daughter's death. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not, but pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose you avenge yourself, impose me in what penance your invention can lay upon my sin, yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. Yet, to satisfy this good woman, I would bend under any heavy weight that she'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble lady, your overkindness doth bring tears from me. I do embrace your honor, and dispose for henceforth the poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but hath always been just and virtuous in anything I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, oh dear, which indeed is not under white and black. This plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I thank God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation!
Go, I discharge thee for thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Oh. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
We will not fail.
Tonight, born with hero.
Bring you this fellow on. We'll talk with Margaret how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth it catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a lady, and so I pray thee call Beatrice.
I will call Beatrice to you.
And therefore will come. The God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme for lady, but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn. A hard rhyme for school, fool, a babbling rhyme. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay, but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind. Foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome, therefore I shall depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of its right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee, now tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together. For they maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love. Good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart! If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. Of man in this age do not erect his own tomb ere he dies, he shall live no longer in a monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and men. And there will I leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your aunt. It is proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and the Don is the author of it all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. Moreover, I will go with thee to thy aunt's.
Is this the monument of Leonata?
It is.
Done to death by slanderous tongues, was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame, which never dies. So the life that dies in shame lives in death, glorious fame. Hang thou there, upon her tomb, praising her when I have done. Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, thence Leonatus we will go.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who are accused upon the air that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I am glad all things sort so well.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewoman all, withdrawn to a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, signor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Signora Leonata, 'tis truth, Signora, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had for me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your man's answer, ma'am, is enigmatical, but for my will is your good will may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my hope. Oh, here come the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
For this I owe you. Here come other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not before you take her hands before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this, holy friar, I am your husband if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife, and when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero? Hero that is dead?
She died, my lord, but whilst her slanders lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us present.
Soft and fair friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then, your honest aunt, the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth. No more than reason.
Why then, my cousin hero most true and Margaret are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
Truly no, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here's a paper. Written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
Oh, and here's another writ in my cousin's hand, containing her affection unto Benedick.
A miracle. Our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How doth Benedick the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I'll think nothing to any purpose the world can say against it. Therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it, for man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin. Come, we're friends, let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may like our hearts and our wives healed.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play, music! Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Think not on your brother till tomorrow. I'll devise thee grave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!
Feet on the ground.